What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, I'm going to talk about the Grizzlies falling to the Orlando Magic in Orlando in the fourth preseason game. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Yeah. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops, so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Demorant spiking, let's go for he that MVP.
For a preseason game last night, the Grizzlies had a fun matchup with the Orlando Magic. Now, the Orlando Magic is probably one of the youngest teams in the league. They don't have too many veterans on their team. I think T. Ross, Gary Harris are the only veterans on their team, unless you want to call Mo Wagner a veteran. The rest of the guys are real young, and you finally can start to see the vision of that team come along with all the versatile, long, athletic players that they have on that team. Bunch of guys that are 6'9", 6'10", and up that can dribble, pass, and shoot. The only thing they're missing is some guards to organize it, and they're hoping they can get that from Markelle Fultz and Jalen Suggs, who were both out last night. Of course, for the Grizzlies, you had Zaire Williams was out with a wrist injury, and of course, Jaren Jackson and Danny Green were out. So, but as far as preseason games go, last night's game was very, very competitive, and it was competitive because there's something under the surface between these two teams. It's a little, I don't like them MFers between these two teams, and it makes every matchup good, and I am so thankful that this is one of the games that I picked to go to on the road this year. I'll be there in January, of course, like I've said before, on the 5th when they play the Orlando Magic to watch this matchup. And I hope the Orlando Magic are not fully into the Wemby race by then, and they are still trying to maybe hold out hope that they can make the play-in and we get another competitive battle and both of these teams are fully healthy. It would be a great day, a great game for me. But the Grizzlies, of course, played the Orlando Magic earlier this preseason and pretty much kicked their ass from the opening tip. And it seems like the Orlando Magic took that to heart, especially Cole Anthony and Paolo Banchero. They took it to heart, and they came out with a vengeance. And the Grizzlies were basically down the entire game. I'm not sure if they ever took the lead. They might have took a 1-point lead late in the fourth. But this was a game that was really marked and categorized by Ja Morant's horrific shooting night. He ended up 8 for 24, but at one point he was 1 for 10 from the field, was 0 of 6 from three-point line. Terrible night for him. Ended up minus 21, the worst on the team. He did have 23 points, but that's because he got to the line 10 times. Dylan Brooks was 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 6 from three-point line. Only 10 points. He was minus 18. Steven Adams was minus 17. The starters, minus Desmond Bane, basically got their ass kicked. Of course, Desmond Bane was the star of the show. 11 of 18 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point line, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 33 points in 32 minutes. And he was the only starter that was plus from the field. He played a lot, and I think that I like this new wave that Taylor Jenkins is using, where he's got Desmond Bane carrying the bench guys, and I really like that because then you can let Ja Morant carry the starters more and kind of keeps Dylan in check with his shot attempts, although he did get up 13 shots. But there was no Zaire Williams, no Jaren Jackson. Hopefully we can get that reduced a little bit more and Jaren can get more of those shots. Santi Aldama only took 6 shots, but he had 10 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 0 for 3 from three-point line, but only 23 minutes for 10 points, 8 rebounds. And it goes to my emphasis on Santi Aldama being a better rebounder than Jaren Jackson. However, the combination of Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bane on the wing is very poor for rebounding. And I think it might behoove the Grizzlies to start a better rebounding wing. But, I can't see them starting anybody over Dylan Brooks right now. But we're going to see how this develops over the season with the rebounding. Hopefully it'll get better when Jaren comes back. Did I just say that? Scratch. But either way, it's going by, our favorite gift that never got opened on Christmas Day, Franz Wagner, had a good game. 5 of 10 from the field, 2 of 6 from three-point line, including a killer dagger late in the fourth quarter to basically seal the deal for the Orlando Magic. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Great game. Wendell Carter, 18 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Paolo Banchero, 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. T. Ross had a good game, 17 points, 2 of 3 from three-point line, 6 free throws, 5 of 9 from the field. And let's see, Mo Bamba didn't really do much, but Bol was 4 of 7 from the field, 9 rebounds, 1 block, 9 points. Had a real good game. Had a late 3 when Grizzlies were making a run that kind of gave them 11-point cushion before the Grizzlies starters came back in. And that's the thing about this game that was so fun, that both of the teams were taking it seriously, and the coaches facilitated them taking it seriously by putting starters back in to close a preseason game. It was wonderful. I expect the Grizzlies not to play any starters or play them very low minutes in the last preseason game at Detroit. But this was a good dress rehearsal, and the Grizzlies closed hard after being down 11 points. I think it was less than 5 minutes left in the fourth, and ended up getting the game 2-1. I can't remember if they took the lead or not, but they got the game down, and then the Magic hit some tough shots down the stretch. Grizzlies, of course, Steven Adams got hurt and didn't play down that fourth quarter stretch. And the Grizzlies closed with Xavier Tillman at first. And then once the game kind of, Xavier Tillman started doing some things that were pretty questionable on defense with fouling and being out of position. Grizzlies brought in Brandon Clark later, and Brandon Clark got a face full of Franz Wagner with that 3-point dagger I was telling you about. And it was basically a wrap at that point. But like I said, it was a fun game. If you were a fan watching that game, I really liked it. I really liked the fact that these two young teams, as you know, the Grizzlies aren't too much older than the Magic. These two young teams both have something underneath the surface against each other. And it's really been like that for the Grizzlies the last year or two, especially last year. These young teams, these young, hungry teams with young players on it, really, really get up for the Grizzlies. They really get up for the Grizzlies. Like, they want to prove that they are on the same level as the young Grizzlies. And I think it's something that the Grizzlies are going to have to be on the lookout for this season. Also, another thing the Grizzlies are going to have to look out for is the way the Orlando Magic defended them to start this game. They basically kept 5 guys in the paint to try to keep Ja Morant out of the paint. Sort of similar to what the Timberwolves did in the playoffs, and it's something else to look out for. I don't know if teams are going to be able to play that kind of defense, pull it out, during the regular season, when you got games piling up, back-to-backs and stuff like that. But NBA teams are pretty resilient. They scout real well, and they get things done. But like I said, I really enjoyed the game last night. And the one other thing that I want to point to from last night that I really, really enjoyed was Taylor Jenkins' rotations. Now, of course, it was facilitated a little bit by Zaire Williams and Jaren Jackson not being there. But the fact that Xavier Tillman didn't really play until Steven Adams was out, I really like that. They kept an emphasis on shooting, bringing in Jake LaRavia and David Roddy. It kept a lot of shooting on the floor. And if the Grizzlies would have had a normal shooting night, not even a spectacular shooting night, just a normal shooting night, this game 2 would have been a blowout against the Magic. Even though they were playing well, the Grizzlies were able to hang in this game despite shooting 25% from three-point line on 9 of 36 and 40% from the field. So it's some things that I saw in this game that might have a little worry, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy your day. We got one more preseason game, then we're going to have the weekend off, and then it's time for the real thing. It's time for the real game. So enjoy your day. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video, share this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow with the next video. Peace.